Hey everybody, it's John, small town, small time bookseller, and I'm here because I sold some books. Yay! When I do that on the old internets, specifically the eBays of the internets, I come here and tell you all about it so you can go and do the same exact thing. Good luck to you. And so that's pretty much all I do. I tell you what I sold. I don't do any garage sale videos. I don't do yard sale videos. I don't do any GoPros at the Goodwill bins and looking at my hands in a world so prone to human error, where the lessons go unlearned and the crimes unpunished and the madness repeated. Nope. I don't do that. So you can relax. None of that's going to happen. The crimes will go punished. The lessons will go learned, and the madness not repeated. Not here, at least. No. So, yeah, this week, let me see what we had here. Looks like about 20 books for a grand total of $562.54, which puts me well above my completely arbitrary number of $25 average that I like to get to. This week I had $28.13 average. Yay! Had one really good sale and a couple other decent ones. So I also sold two Nota books, both kind of smaller sales, $27 for the two, which puts that at a $13.50 average, which was exactly to the penny my goal on my Nota books. Every week is $13.50. That's what I'm striving for. That's what I'm aiming for. That's the big goal of the week, and I nailed it once again. $13.50 average. So let's get into this, shall we? And then after that, I'm going to talk to you about a possible scam, possibly just somebody being nice, which in itself could be scammy. I'm not sure. We'll talk about it. All right, so let's get going. As always, I'm going to start off with my lowest dollar value book that sold, then end with the most valuable ones. So if you want to just skip ahead to the most valuable ones, you can do that, because there's a few that were in the lower range here, but some good mids. Is all over the place. It was a good week. So, or a good whatever it's been since the last video. All right, number one, the Cameron Hydraulic Data 14th edition, sold for $9. This one I picked up. This is part of the free haul I got off the Garage Sale app, where I got some engineering books. This nice, cute little black book. I don't know why I call it cute, but it's a little black book. Just a Cameron. So Cameron, Louisiana, is not too far, just across the border in Louisiana. And this was the hydraulic data from there, $9. The next one that sold were these two McCoy's discount calendars from the 60s. I got this and a box of ephemera that I purchased last year sometime, and I've been selling little bits and pieces out of it here and there, one at a time. I actually had this up for $20. Somebody sent me a message saying, hey, I actually work for McCoy's. I would love to have these sitting on my desk. I think it would look pretty cool. Would you take $10? So yes, I did. I would. I bought that whole box of ephemera for $10, I think it was, a while back. And I've been selling pieces out of it quite a bit, so $10 is fine. I'm happy with that. The next one was the F-106 Delta Dart, $10. This came from the military aircraft haul that I got from the Goodwill bin several weeks ago, and I've been selling bits and pieces out of there, one or two a week since I got that. So that was a good, I'm glad to sell that one, whatever, you know. Moving on, La Historia de Chile, El País, no la comida. This one sold for $10. I've had this book for a long time, and I'm glad it sold finally. Moving up, we have, okay, so the Test, Evaluate, and Improve Your Chess, $10.84. A couple weeks ago, I actually picked up several books on chess. Some were rather vintage, some were not, and I haven't listed all of them yet. I'm really curious about them, whether they will sell, because there was a big hype about chess not too long ago, and there was a movie that came out about chess, and I don't know if that's died down or not. But chess, it can, I think, always is one topic that will sell pretty well, it seems to me like. And I'm curious when I get these other vintage books and look into them a little bit more to see if any of them have any real value or not. But that was the one that sold this week. All right. Oh, this was kind of a cool one. This is the Journal of the Experimental Analysis of Behavior from 1967. Sold it for $13.30. Didn't know anything about it. Could not find any comps on this. No idea anything about it. It's one of these, sometimes if I can't find anything, I don't want to spend too much time researching, I'll just put it up. And if somebody else has more knowledge than me about something, then kudos to them. Then maybe they got a great deal, or maybe that's what it's worth. I have no idea. But it was kind of a cool a find. And I thought, when I picked it up, again, I didn't know anything about it. I thought, just a Journal of the Experimental Analysis of Behavior. That just sounds like something from the 60s that would have some interest. That maybe I took a picture of all of the contributors and all the articles. So somebody who may know more about this field would look through them and go like, hey, there's an article by, Whatchy right there. That's a guy, that's somebody famous in that field. And it'd be kind of cool to have an original, when something was first printed. Next we have, another QuickStart guide. So I've sold QuickStart guides for real estate, small business, different computer programming things. And this one was the HTML and CSS QuickStart guide for $15. So if you see these, they're not big sellers, but they sell. They really do sell pretty well. The QuickStart guide series, I recommend. Moving on, 3 magic words, the key to power, peace, and plenty. $15 for that one. That one I just listed very recently, so that sold quick. And let's see, that was number 8. Oh, here we go. Number 20. This is 21. The Life and Times of New York's Favorite Club. $17. I had this for quite a while, and when I hear that, The Life and Time of New York's Favorite Club, it reminds me of the Saturday Night Live sketch. I don't know if you guys remember that one, where the guy was like, if you're looking for New York's favorite club, you have to go to 21, where there's lobsters and Mesopotamian rhubarb, and they're dancing like it's the fall of 2013. I always like that skit. Forget the guy's name that does it. Maybe a couple of you recall. If not, I just spent 10 seconds making a fool of myself. That'll be okay too. What was that one? That was number 9. So, okay, number 10. The CIA as Organized Crime. Okay, $20 for that one. And, this is another fantastic title for a book. The Origins of Consciousness in the Breakdown of the Bicameral Mind. $20 for that one. I kind of thought, just on name alone, this should have got more than $20. Just if you're counting syllables there, it should be more than 20. But $20 is what I got out of that one. And I think that was a fantastically named book. Here's another, this was the A4V2 Rocket Instruction Manual. This actually was not part of the Goodwill bins haul of the aviation books. This I'd gotten separately. $21 for that. All right, we're moving up, getting into the mid-20s now. The Metabolic Factor. This 22 days, something, I forget the rest of the title, but it's a Metabolic Factor, $24.50. A lot of you have probably heard of Warhammer, and Warhammer books and things sell. They even sell in French. So I had a lot of 3 Warhammer 40K books that are in French, and they sold for $28. So I don't have a lot of good luck selling books printed in foreign language, although I've got another good one. Today's the exception. It's kind of funny. I got this one in French and another one coming up in foreign language. Books about how to learn a foreign language, I sell pretty good, how to learn Spanish, how to learn French, how to learn German, whatever. But actual novels or books that are printed in a foreign language, I have a hard time selling those. Part of it is I don't know how eBay works. Like, if I am a French speaker and I want to purchase these books on Warhammer in French, and I put in, as I'm typing in French, since I'm French, then will my result, which is listed in English, pop up? Or would it only listings that are worded in French? So if any of you know if that works, let me know. I'm sorry if I'm bumping on that. So, but yeah. So moving on, this is another, let's see, Discretionary President, $28.95. Another one that was not listed for very long at all before it sold. All right, moving up to the $30 range, ACSM's Guidelines for Exercise Testing. Not sure what the ACSM is, but they had guidelines, and they printed them, and somebody bought them because he needed them for exercise testing. And that's over $30. And then we had another $30 one, Pharmaceutical Calculations, 15th edition for $30. This one went back and forth with somebody. I had it up for about 45. Somebody offered me like 20, and I said 35, and they said 30, and I said 35, and they said 30. And I was like, okay, you know, again, I didn't pay much for it, so. All right, next one, we had the Manual of Structured Kinesiology, $35. Pretty good little sale there. And then the last two. So we had one more. This was my other foreign language book. This was I hope I get it close to sounding right, but the Mandukya Upanishad in Hindi, new in plastic, $49.95. So that was a fun one to sell. I would love to learn how to write, at least read Hindi. It's such a cool language with the lines, and I think it'd be fascinating to learn how to do that. And then my big sale of the week. So this was really cool because of when I found this book. So my buddy over at the traveling picker, he sold this one. He knew the book apparently, and he bought it I think online, and knew what it was, knew the value of it. And sold it. Sorry if I had the story wrong, but whatever. He sold this one for a lot of money, and it is such a cool title. So I saw his video about it, and then literally within a couple days, I'm at the Goodwill bins and I see it, and I pick it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the book that Traveling Picker just sold. So I immediately knew what it was, which was really fun. I ended up selling it for $165. It is The Altered States of Consciousness for $165. Yeah, so here's a tip. If you get a book that has a lot of watchers, a lot of views and watchers, and somebody offers you, it wasn't really a lowball offer. Somebody offered me $120 on it. And I knew that it could sell for more than that. I'd looked at recent solds, and the ones that had gone up for auction had been less than that. But the ones that were, buy it now had been more than that. So I kind of thought, 120, I mean, that's a good, again, I paid 33 cents for the book. So 120 bucks is pretty good. But I just let it sit. You've got 24 hours to accept. I let it sit overnight. And the next morning, I got a full price offer, $165. So again, not sure exactly how that eBay algorithm and how everything works. But perhaps if you're watching something and if somebody else puts in a bid on it, do you get notified maybe? And so maybe somebody said, hey, somebody put in a bid on this item that you're watching. I don't know if that were how it works or not, but anyways, it might behoove you to just hang tight for a little bit. If you get an offer that's decent, but not quite what you want, I would have accepted the 120. I was planning to later on in the day, or maybe countered at 130 or something like that. But I didn't have to, because somebody came along and bought it for my full asking price of $165. Yee-hoo! All right. My two Nada books, let's see, what were they? They were both DVDs. One of them was this one, Niagara, the Diamond edition or Diamond collection. It's a Marilyn Monroe movie, and that sold for $12. And the second one was part of my Portuguese DVD haul. Thank you, Lex. Double Switch DVD sold for $15. So those two of those are $27. Yeah, okay. So those are the books for the week, since the last video. Don't know exactly how many days that's been. Here's my situation. I'm curious if any of you have run into this. I should have written down exactly what the message said, but it's too late now because I'm not going to start this over at this point. I sold a DVD that I picked up at the Amazon return store. I got a couple of the exact same one. It was a TV series called, I think, Luther. It had the complete series, like 6 CDs or 6 DVDs. Still wrapped in plastic. And I sold both of them pretty quickly. And at day 30 or maybe 31 afterwards, I get a message saying, hey, I'd like to return this. I've watched several of the episodes. The picture's very pixelated. It's probably because it's a bootleg copy, but I noticed that your store has very good feedback, so I'm guessing you didn't know that it was a bootleg copy. So if you'll send me a prepaid, return envelope, I will send this back to you. If you'll refund my money and send me a prepaid, whatever, shipping out label, I'll send it back to you. I'd never gotten anything like that, and I thought that was a little odd, and I wondered if they're very nice. I thought, are they being really nice and actually concerned about my, me not wanting to take a hit on my account by having a return? Or is that 30 days, I think, is when you don't have to accept the return anymore? I may be wrong on that as well. But I said, appreciate your concern. Go ahead and just submit the return through eBay. And, I'm sorry that this happened. And I said, I bought multiple copies of this at the same time through the Amazon return store, and I haven't had any other negative feedback regarding them. I think you must have just gotten a bad copy. So that was, what's it today? That was probably about 5 or 6 days ago, and I haven't heard anything. So I don't know if they still might return it or not, but I wonder if you heard of anything like that. Could that have been a scam, or is that just somebody really being nice and thinking about me? And, they still might, go ahead and do the return, and if they do, that's fine. I'll take the return. But anyways, I thought it was interesting. So that's my story for the week. Hope you enjoyed. If you learned something or found some books, get yourself one of those Altered States of Consciousness books. That's a good one to find. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. I will see you next time. Hope to see you sooner rather than later. Adios.